It's no secret that Baltimore is full of hidden gems, and Hampden is no exception, but this time we are taking you off the avenue and a bit off the beaten path.
The setting is gorgeous, and it's one of those things, the fact that we're in the dead center of the city, but you don't feel like you're in the dead center of a city. You've got the Jones Falls, we're in a nice wooded area.
Chef Zach Mills opened up True Chesapeake Oyster Company with his partners Nick Schauman and Patrick Hudson after falling in love with the oysters from Patrick's famed oyster farm.
And just fell in love with the story of it being one of the southernmost points on the western shore. So it was truly a Maryland Chesapeake Bay oyster. And I became one of his biggest fans, and then we ended up partnering up to open our own restaurant.
And how has it been here? Because immediately when I walked in, I was like, oh, this is beautiful.
It's gorgeous. We're super fortunate. The space is gorgeous. Our designer did a great job keeping the feel of the building and still kind of accentuating all the really lovely parts of the brick and wood and everything else.
Yeah.
It's a 200-plus-year-old building, and we fell in love with it right when we walked in and said we could really do something here.
More so than the ambiance, it's the food. The food makes you feel like you're in the States.
That's always the goal, and that's what we wanted to do. Our whole point of view culinarily is showcasing the Chesapeake Bay, as well as just the region, the beautiful farms and fisheries and just everything that kind of makes Maryland, Maryland.
Of course, opening just prior to the pandemic, the last year and a half plus have been a lot, but support has been even more and continues as folks get back out there a bit more, ready to revisit old favorites and discover new ones at the same time. Do you feel like a hidden gem?
Yeah, absolutely.
How so?
Absolutely, because it all depends on what's going on in my windows when people come in. It's really interesting because when I change the windows, I can hear people getting beeped at because they're driving slowly, looking, and I think people don't really know what's behind the window, which is kind of fun when they walk in. They're like, "Wow, I never knew this was here."
To get a little shorter, but I think it can happen. You're in the right place. This is gorgeous, gorgeous.
Thank you. This is so bad. I'm like, I should be working and I'm shopping. That's okay.
Oh gosh, look at this.
See?
This is really beautiful.
Thank you. Now consider yourself exposed.
I am fully.
Fashion designer Jill Andrews has had her studio here in Hampden since 2009. For those in the know, she's become relied upon. For those just finding out about her, she's become quite the find.
The magical thing that happens is people will come in and they have the special occasion, and we'll sit down and we'll talk about what the goal of the look is, and I will take out a pen and paper and I will sketch and show fabrics and come up with a concept and then make it all happen. I do christening gowns, I do red carpet, I've had stuff at the Grammys.
And years ago, when Ebola hit, she worked with Johns Hopkins to design a different type of suit, a hazmat suit.
It's just about empathetic design and knowing how to fit people and what they have to do in the garment. And that's what led me to the project with Hopkins. In March of 2020, friends of mine showed up and said, two different friends said, "Hey, you've got this hazmat suit thing under your belt. I think this pandemic's going to be the real deal and we need to design masks." So then we shifted gears.
You can still get the masks from her quality mask company, of course, but now it's also business as usual once again at Jill Andrews Gowns.
This is my Baltimore riding jacket. When you come in here and if you're looking for something, you're going to find something that's completely unique. It's going to be handmade. It's pretty much going to be made by a local person or a woman-owned, or this is all community coming in and community coming out.
It's a sentiment echoed right down the street by artist Gail Rosen. Andamento Studio and Gallery on Chestnut sounds as beautiful as it is.
It's an Italian word, and it has meanings in music, but also in mosaic. And in mosaic, it refers to the flow of the line of the mosaic. So if you look at some of the mosaic pieces around, you can see some of them, the line goes this way, some of them take your eye in a curve. And when I thought of that for the name of the store, I also thought of the flow of life and how we end up in unusual circumstances that we would not expect. And so at 65, 4 years ago, when I opened this shop, it was something I hadn't planned to do, I hadn't thought of doing, I wasn't aiming for, but life brought me here. I was doing mosaics at home, and I found it very therapeutic. I'd had some losses in my life, and there was a period of time when I just wanted to go in the basement and move bits of stone and glass around. That's all I wanted to do. And I filled up all the walls in my house, so that was a problem. And I came to see it, and I stood in the space, and I went, huh, this could be fun. And that was my business plan.
And even though the pandemic has slowed things down a bit when it comes to traffic, it certainly hasn't slowed down Gail's hands from making more beautiful pieces.
I produce jewelry and I produce mosaics and I experiment with new designs and new styles. So I've been very productive and I have a lot of inventory. And in addition to it being quiet, which it has been, I've been really gratified that past customers who know where I am have come in on purpose when they need something, a gift for someone or a new home to decorate or whatever, and also brought people with them when they have people in from out of town. So that's been very gratifying to have the continued support.
To discover more hidden gems, go to hamdenmerchants.com. We'll be right back with more Midday Maryland right after this. Stay tuned.